Peace, brothers and sisters. Hope you're doing well wherever you are on this lovely earth that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created for us. Today, I would like to talk about a little bit about Sabbatai Zevi. So, this man was born, well, I don't believe in any of this to be entirely true. Allah knows best. Well, Sabbatai Zevi was born August 1st, 1626, and he died on September 1676 as an Ottoman Jewish mystic, an ordained rabbi from Smyrna, now Izmir. His family origins have been Ashkenazi or Spanish. Active throughout the Ottoman Empire, Zvi claimed to be long-awaited Jewish messiah and founded the Sabbatean movement. Upon arriving in Constantinople in February 1666, Sabbatai was imprisoned on the order of the Grand Vizier Kopruluzade Fazil Ahmed Pasha. Now, this Kopruluzade is just a Turkish word for the corporal. In September of that same year, after being moved from different prisons around the capital of the imperial court seat in Adrianople from Edirne, he was judged on accusations of fomenting sedition. Now, this man, of what I've heard, he had amassed a lot of the Jewish public, and a lot of the people were considering him as some Mashiach, right? So what happened was that when he was captured by the Sultan, he was given an option. He was like, either you get executed or you become a Muslim. Then what happened was that when he became Muslim, he was taken into some sort of exile. And the whole masses that had been following him, 3 quarters divided. One quarter said that, oh, this guy is a fraud. Okay. The second quarter became Muslim along with him. And the third quarter, they went mad and they committed suicide. So if this thing really happened, this is nothing more than a psyop. And like, you can go check out my previous interview, one of the first interviews on my channel, David Livingstone, the author. He speaks in depth about Sabbatai Zevi. And he also says that supposed Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, he comes from the same city or the same region where this guy was from. The Donme Muslims, in which Kamal Ataturk and the Saudi family, they all belong from. They come from the same area as well. So this is how psyops are conducted if this thing happened.
What I've been researching and discovering over the past few months, I think I surrounded myself with people who had similar ideas to me, similar beliefs, and because of that, I had no other beliefs there, nothing really to make me question, nothing really to push me and give me a new perspective. And that's a mistake I don't think I make in the future. It's something to learn from.
January 2024, when I was slowly and gradually coming over to the understanding of the Quran alone, I came across a lot of YouTube channels that assisted me in that journey. And the British Muslim was one of them. Now, for the past, maybe, okay, it says 1 day ago. So this guy has been posting these strange videos. I found a contradiction, proved me wrong, I was wrong, and then the Quran was corrupted. Guys, this is how psyops are conducted. So this is the British psyop of the Quran alone Muslim. He's got 3.83k subscribers. All of his content, all the content he had made, he has just deleted it. And all he's got here is this now.
I am very sorry, like sincere apologies. It's something I'm embarrassed about, of course. I've spent 7 years more than 7 years following this, but 7 years making videos about this, researching this, and I find out that, I was wrong about it.
So this is how psyops are done. Oh, I found the truth, I found the truth, I found the truth. And when you amass a big gathering, then you say, oh, I was wrong.
So, if we've got this book from the best of detailers from a perfect God, why does almost every verse, every surah have different interpretations all across the world? From imams and scholars to, day-to-day Muslims to other religions, people can interpret these verses to mean so many different things, whether it's from the original Arabic or English translations or anything else in between. The book is anything but clear.
So the question you asked, that why do everybody all over the world have different interpretations? Just let's look at this. Quran chapter 6 verse 50. Say, I do not say to you that I possess the treasures of Allah, nor do I know the unseen, nor do I say to you that I am an angel. I only follow what is revealed to me. Say, are the blind and the seeing equal? Will you not then reflect? So Allah is telling us to reflect. Here's another one. Chapter 47 verse 24. Do they not ponder over the Quran, or are there locks upon their hearts? So obviously, when people start pondering and reflecting upon the Quran, everybody is a different human being, a different individual, a different psychological process going in their minds. So obviously, when we all are different individuals, we will be narrating, understanding, interpreting the Quran differently. Now the question of who did it right and who did it wrong, that's a different question. But this is the answer to when you say, oh, why are there different narrations and interpretations? First of all, Al-Islam is not a religion, not an organized faction that all have to be uniform. This is about humanity. This is about An-Nas. We all are different. Who is right and who is wrong, that is a separate thing. But about narrating and understanding the Quran, that is how it is.
And I find out that, I was wrong about it.
So when a lot of people are following somebody and then they find that their leader has got confused, and then the leader apologizes to everybody that, oh, I was wrong, I'm sorry, go home, I was wrong, you come to the wrong place.
For example, this verse says owner, whereas another Quran says king.
No, they say that there's multiple Arabic Qurans. They say there's variant readings, and therefore they say the Malik and Malik are both valid, owner and king. But there is a problem with this, that it does create controversy, it does create doubt in people's heart whether there is such a thing as a pure, protected, untouched Quran. When you accept this, that it could be Malik or it could be Malik, it opens up a whole door, another kind of worms, with all different meanings throughout the Quran. But for me, it's enough to see that if you look at those statistics, 92% Hafs, 1% Qalun, 1% Hisham, 4% Warsh, 2% Ad-Duri, and I'm sure there's many more with very tiny percentage. But that main one that stands out is the 92% Hafs. So immediately the thought comes to me that the rest of these look like they are infiltration attempts to dilute the Quran, to distort the Quran, to change certain meanings in different areas of the Quran. Because if 92% is what, if 92% of the people who follow the Quran follow Hafs, that really does tell you everything you need to know. And it does look very similar to these statistics about hadith. When you look at the Quran, that's one hadith, Ahsan al-Hadith, 100% accepted. 100% accepted. But when you look at these others, Bukhari, Muslim, Ibn Majah, Tirmidhi, Abu Dawud, Nisai, you just have to look at the percentage of what they brought that was accepted, 1 or 2%. And it does sound very similar to this whole narrative of variant readings, 7 or 12 or 13, whatever it is. People will tell people they can't make up their minds. But it looks pretty clear to me what is going on. It's a very similar situation to this Quran, which is 100% accepted, and the rest of these a very tiny percent accepted. And it's the same thing with this Hafs, 92% accepted. And all of these other variant readings, a very tiny fraction is accepted, or a very tiny fraction of the people are following it.
Sahih Muslim 818. I listened to his recitation and noticed that he recited in several different ways that the Prophet had not taught me.
My message to the British Muslim is that when you are a Quran alone Muslim, how come you can go fall prey to the stories, the made up stuff of the Sunnis and the Shias? The Quran is sufficient for us to follow and obey the deen of Allah. It is as simple as that. This book itself claims that it has no errors. This book itself claims that it is divinely protected. This book claims that it is in clear language, clear speaking language. Then I don't know what were you doing. Were you sleeping for all this long? Didn't you know all these deceptions existed? Because I'm sure you're Quran alone before than me, but sadly now you're like, oh, I didn't see this hole in my path, and in the dark I fell in it. Brilliant. And all the people following you gonna fall in it as well. Brilliant job, British Muslim. I must say, British confused. My message to everybody is that please do your own researches. Please keep checking. Do not follow one individual. You are ordered by Allah that you must do tadabbur. You must use your brain. You have to think.